enslaved or exploited. Human history provides many examples of people and communities which have been dominated or enslaved. Point number one, dominated. Point number two, enslaved. Point number three, exploited. These 3 points are there in which we want freedom. When you are dominated, when we are dominated, when we are enslaved, or when we are exploited. By how you will exploited, how you will be enslaved, how you will you dominated by more powerful groups. You will be dominated by more powerful groups. But it also provides us with inspiring examples of heroic struggles against such domination. We don't want any type of domination. That's why we struggle for freedom. We don't want any, nobody wants domination. Even a small child don't want any domination. What is freedom? Now, the topic is freedom. But what do you think? What is freedom? For which people have been willing to sacrifice or die. Suppose we want freedom and we are being enslaved. So we will be enslaved. So the desire is to, to get freedom, and we can sacrifice or die ourselves also. So not just individuals, but societies have valued their independence. But not just individuals, but societies have valued their independence and wish to protect. Just wait for a few seconds. Net is not connected. So when we are going to sacrifice ourselves, it means we need freedom, right? Freedom for individuals, freedom for society, and freedom from every domination. But, however, given the diverse interests and ambitions of people, any form of social living requires some rules and regulation. When you are in the society, you need some rules and regulations. And these rules may require some constraint to be imposed on the freedom of individuals. What do you mean by constraints? Constraints mean limitations. You know, in excess, everything is bad. Suppose you are free and without rule and regulation, you are doing anything, which means that you are against the law. In every society, there are some laws. Under that particular law, you have to live. But these are rules and regulations, and these are constraints. These rules may require some constraints to be imposed on the freedom of individuals. But it is recognized that such constraints may also free us from insecurity and provide us with the conditions in which we can develop ourselves. These rules and regulations are there under which we develop ourselves. Right. So in political theory, much of these discussion regarding freedom therefore focus on trying to involve principles by which we can distinguish between socially necessary constraints and restriction. We have to distinguish between constraints and restrictions. Constraints and restrictions. There has also been debate about the possibility limitations on freedom. What type of limitation we require? Limitation means when we are able to develop in that particular limitation. Limitation here is not that is a negative meaning. Limitations here is some positive meaning. For example, you are living in your home, right? Your father, your parents, they put some limitations on you. Do you think that those limitations are not necessary? Think yourself, those limitations are very much necessary if you want to develop yourself. First of all, discipline. Discipline is a limitation, and discipline is necessity. So, where you can within, if there is in the society there's no discipline, that society cannot develop. Society, we are living being, we are human being. Even animals are being trained to live in discipline. Animals, they are being trained to live in discipline. So those disciplines, those limitations are being, it means they are constraints. These constraints are for your better being. So there has also been debate about possible limitation of freedom, which may result from the social and economic structures of a society. Social and economic structures of our society. In this chapter, we will look at some of these debates. In this chapter, what we will do in this chapter, after studying this chapter, we will be able to look, and we will able to think about, to understand the importance of freedom, to understand the importance of freedom for individuals and societies. Freedom for individuals and freedom for society. Number two, we will be able to explain the difference between negative and positive dimensions of freedom. Negative and positive dimensions of freedom. Now, there are two types. Every aspect, they have two sides. One is negative aspect, one is positive aspect. We said that freedom is also having some type of negative. Excess of freedom is always not good for the society. Excess of freedom is not good for the society. You know the French Revolution, you have heard about the French Revolution. There was excess freedom for the higher society. Excess freedom for the higher society. First stage, second stage, third stage. Right. So first stage they were having kings and queens and that their relatives. They are having excess freedom. So what was the result? There was a revolution. Same happened in Russia also. What was the result of excess revolution for the Tsar? That is again revolution. Result of the excess is always revolution. So first point was understand the importance of freedom for individuals and their societies, freedom for individuals and freedom for society. Number one. Number two, we'll be able to differentiate between negative freedom and positive dimensions of freedom. Negative side as well as the positive side. Number three, we will be able to explain what is meant by term harm principle. Harm principle. That is John Stuart Mill said, harm principle. Right. So we will be able to differentiate between these two. Now, the ideal for freedom. Here, the ideal for freedom. Before we set out to answer this question, let us stop for a moment and consider this, the autobiography of one of the greatest persons of the 20th century, Nelson Mandela. Have you heard the name of Nelson Mandela? Yes, South African president. Right. So it's titled Long Walk to Freedom. Long walk. It's a not easy walk. It's not freedom, it's not a bed of roses. We have to have long walk of freedom. Right. We have to walk and walk. Then at last we were able to get the freedom. We started, 1700. the Britishers came in India in 1602, and we got the freedom in 1947. Right. So 1600 and 1947, more than 347 years. Right. Again, earlier Portuguese were there, then Dutch were there, then French were there, then Mughals were there, then Britishers were, then after, at last, Portuguese went off. So it is a long struggle for freedom. Long Walk to Freedom. In this book, he talks about the personal struggle against the apartheid regime. You know, the apartheid regime? Apartheid regime means basically, yeah, connected, the ideal for freedom. Now, before we set out to answer this question, let us stop for a moment and consider this. The autobiography of one of the greatest persons I told you about, Nelson Mandela, Long Walk to the Freedom. In this book, he talks about his personal struggle against the apartheid regime. Apartheid means, differentiate between some groups, that differentiate between black people and white people. It is a word of South African language, apartheid. Racial discrimination basically means racial discrimination about the regime offers people to segregate policies of white regime and black people. Right. So its long title of war, the apartheid regime in South Africa, about the resistance of its people to segregate policies of white regime, about the humiliation, hardships, and police brutalities. 3 points are there. Humiliation. Humiliation of whom? Humiliation of black people. Insult of black people. Segregation of black people. Racial discrimination between black and white people. That is humiliation. Hardships. Hardship were faced by which people? Black people. Right. And police brutalities against to whom? Police brutalities against the blacks. Suffered by the black people of South Africa. Right. This range from being bundled into townships and being denied easy movement about the country. South, what is basically, should know what is South Africa. South, as India, Britishers came to India to plunder. But South Africa was for the white people also and for black people also. White people here were there, they were the minorities, and black people were in majorities. Right. So black people, white people, and these, they were not able to move from one place to another place easily. So these range from being bundled into township and being denied easy movement about the country to being denied a free choice of whom to marry. They cannot, black people cannot marry the white one. Right. So it was denied by their law, black, South African law. Collective such measures constitute a body of constraint imposed by the apartheid regime that discriminated between citizens based on their race. For Mandela and his colleagues, it was a struggle against such unjust constraints. I told you, what do you mean by constraint? Constraint means limitations. Mandela and other people, they fought for the freedom for the black because there were lot of limitations on the black people, lot of constraints on the black people, lot of limitation by the law of South African government. So it was a struggle against such unjust constraints, the struggle to remove the obstacles to the freedom of all the people of South Africa, not just the black or the colored, but also the white people. That was long walk to freedom. It's a long walk to freedom. For this freedom, Mandela spent 28 years of his life in jail. 28 years of life in his jail, often in solitary confinement. Solitary confinement means where he is absolutely alone. Nelson Mandela, I tell you one thing about his life. He went to jail at the age of 21 years, and he came back from the jail. He was a free person at the age of 48 years. 27 years he was in jail for what? The topic is freedom. He wants freedom. So his solitary confinement, imagine what it means to give up one's youth and ideal, to voluntarily give up the pleasure of talking with one's friend. He said, if freedom is there for me, freedom should be for everyone, every black. He knowingly went to the jail. That what is going to be happen in the jail, right? With one's friend of playing one's favorite game. Mandela loved boxing. He cannot do boxing in jail. He cannot read the books and newspapers in jail. He was in solitary confinement. He cannot wear his own favorite clothes, of listening to one's favorite music, of enjoying the many festivals that are the part of one's life. Suppose, for example, suppose there is Diwali and someone of the students there, he is sick. He cannot move out. What is the condition of us? He want to enjoy the Diwali, but he cannot enjoy Diwali due to some type of restrictions given by the doctor. Right. So what will be the condition? Say it is not 1, 2, or 3 days. It confined for many, many, many years, and that was 27 years. Imagine giving all these up and choosing instead to be locked up alone in a room, alone in a room, not knowing one when he would be released. He don't know when he will be released. But he is fighting for the freedom. He is fighting for the freedom for not for his own people, for South Africa. He said in South Africa there should be democratic government. But in South Africa, minority were ruling the majority. For your knowledge, Botha government was there. BOTHA. Botha government was there. It was a white minority people, but they were my white minority people ruling over the black majority people. Black majority wants the freedom from the minority one. Why? Because there were a lot of constraints on the black people, right? Rule and regulations were there. Lot of rule and regulations. Not knowing when he would be released, or because on campaign for the freedom of his own people. He campaigned for the freedom of his own people. For freedom, Mandela paid a very high personal price. I told you, 27 years in jail. Very high personal price. Now, take another case. Aung San Suu Kyi, Myanmar. You know Aung San Suu Kyi? Yeah, this is another part. Aung San Suu Kyi. She is from. She's a Gandhian. Uh, Following. She used to follow the Gandhian principle, non-violence. Right. She was in confinement. Also, she was also in jail. Right in Myanmar. Non-violent Aung San Suu Kyi, as she remains today under house arrest. Still, she is in house arrest. The political condition in Myanmar is in turmoil, right? They are the condition is boiling like a hot water in Myanmar. Military junta is ruling, dictatorship is there, and moreover, Myanmar is near the border of India, northeastern part. And separated from her children. She was separated from her children, unable to visit her husband when he was dying in cancer. Her husband died in cancer because she feared that if she felt left Myanmar to visit him in England, she would not be able to return. Look, she gave her personal life for the country, for the freedom of the country, for the freedom of people. That is Aung San Suu Kyi. So we stop over here today, right? Next part of chapter, right? So we discuss about the constraints of freedom, why we want freedom. We want freedom for the limitation. We want freedom not to be dominated. We want freedom from enslaving ourselves by the third party, by the second party. We don't want to be exploited. So these exploitation, domination, enslave, with these 3 points are there from which we need freedom. And we discuss about Nelson Mandela also. We just a little bit Nelson Mandela, and we were on the topic of Freedom from Fear, written by Aung San Suu Kyi of Myanmar. Next lecture. Till then, take care and have a nice time. Thank you.